Brief. My name is Faustina Asaf, and we're just 81 days away from the 2024 general election. Good afternoon and welcome to Election Brief. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, on all our social media handles and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also brought to you by German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, as well as Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. My name is Faustina Asaf. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This afternoon, pressure is mounting on the Electoral Commission to subject its systems to an independent forensic audit as the NDC supporters, clad in red, took to the streets in a nationwide protest, declaring enough is enough. From Accra to the far reaches of the north, their voices echoed one demand: an independent audit of the voters' register. They marched towards the offices of the Electoral Commission, venting their frustration after the EC refused the NDC's earlier request, despite allegations of anomalies. Now, there has been massive turnout and heavy security presence across the country. We'll be going live to our correspondents across the 16 regions for updates. And in the studio, we'll be speaking to the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, for more on this. And we give you an in-depth look at what this demonstration means for the country's democratic process, especially from the Ashanti region, where we saw massive turnout. That is the stronghold of the NPP. What does that mean? We'll get into that shortly. We'll also be speaking to Nana Boachi Yadum from the Ashanti region, because we are told one person has been arrested after NDC protesters tried to get into the EC offices. We saw shattered glasses as they broke the entrance of the EC doors. And so we'll get into that shortly, and also take you to the Eastern region, where the police had a hard time controlling the crowd. But I'll start with Natalia from the Western region, because the NDC supporters there have already submitted their petition to the EC. Ina, what happened?
Yes, Faustina. So for in the Western region, it was a peaceful demonstration. The walk from the Takrady Mall through to Fijai, and then back HT or Beach Road here in Takrady, then to the EC office, where the minority speaker, minority leader Emmanuel Makofi-Bois, on behalf of the NDC, submitted the petition to the EC, demanding that they need fair transparency register during the December polls. And then the Deputy EC Commissioner here in the Western region also received it and said that they would forward their claims to Accra. And so the Western region, it has been peaceful so far. There was heavy police presence. That's what I can report, Faustina.
Thank you, Natalia. Peaceful demonstration in the Western region, far from what we can say in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where one person was arrested by the police after they had a hard time controlling the crowd. Some of the supporters, we are told, tried to go into the EC headquarters. We saw shattered glass on the floor as the supporters somehow damaged the front entrance of the EC headquarters. We'll take you to Kumasi shortly, but let's take you now to where Rafik Salam joins us live with more. Rafik, how was the protest at your end?
The protests in Wa ended a couple of hours ago, and I can report to you that the people in the airport, especially the NDC, they told us that they have been able to achieve what they wanted, at least presenting a petition to the EC office right here. There was a massive crowd. I can only describe them as a base of supporters of the NDC.
We seem to be losing connection to Rafiq Salam. Rafiq, you'd have to position rightly for us to come back to you, just giving us updates on how the protest went in Wa. Now, we would also take you to the Ashanti region, where we're quite interested in how the police is controlling the crowd. Rafiq, you have to position rightly. We'll come back to you, but let me take our audience now to the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, where one person has been arrested after clashes between the police and protesters. Now, Nana Wachi Adam, what triggered this clash?
Well, firstly, earlier on, the demonstration, as promised by the flag bearer of the NDC, John Mahama, was peaceful. It began very peacefully when they started from the regional secretariat to walk through the principal street of Kumasi. In fact, let me give you the route. They started from Amekom, walked through Asafo. They passed through Edum, got to the Dakojom stretched. They used the RCC stretched and moved on to the regional EC office. That is where the chaos happened. There was an attempt by one man who is part of the protesters who tried to break the police barrier and get inside the EC office. Now, there was a resistant attempt by the police. We realized that getting inside the EC office is not allowed. In fact, any sympathizer aside the executives of the NDC is not allowed to pass through the barrier and then get inside the EC head office. But then this man tried to break the barrier to get inside the EC office, and that is what the police was trying to resist. While the police were trying to resist his attempt to move into the EC head office, the other supporters of the NDC joined this man in question, to break the barrier, and then the police forcefully had to move all of them out. Well, the attempt by the police to move these people out of the EC premises failed, and so they had their way into the office. But then this man who triggered the action got arrested by the Ghana Police Service, and so he is the person who was first arrested. We'll have the shot already, and then we'll share with the team alongside as we go forward. But then he was arrested, and then some two other persons were also grabbed by the police. We are being told that these people who are arrested have been released as I speak to you. The original chairman of the NDC, Nana Kwesi, after presenting his petition to the regional EC boss, came to us to tell us that the police have released these three individuals, and so they have to also call off their intent of resisting to move out of the EC premises. So they have presented their petition, and so they have moved out of the EC premises with these three individuals released by the Ghana Police Service. But I must say that the attempt was because, the arrest was because these three persons tried to break the barrier. Of course they did, and then subsequently moved into the EC office. That is what led to their arrest. Some people have suffered some injuries. We are being told that the NDC have sent some supporters who suffered some injuries to the hospital. One policewoman who also suffered some injury has also been sent to the hospital. And so this is what transpired during the NDC's attempt to present their petition to the regional EC boss here at the regional coordinating council. As I speak to you, everything is calm. The presentation has been done. The EC has assured them of responding to their petition as time goes on. Fosti.
The EC gates were destroyed by angry protesters. Has any official of the EC been heard so far?
Well, we spoke to some EC officials who tell us that, yes, the gate was damaged by these supporters in the attempt to move into the office of the EC boss himself. Well, the police were trying to resist that, and in the attempt to resist it, these supporters of the NDC broke the gate, or they destroyed the gate of the EC, as you saw earlier when we sent the shot through. And they destroyed not just that particular gate, but then the main gate of the EC also got destroyed by the NDC supporters. The supporters are saying that it is their constitutional right to see the EC alongside the executives to present their petition to the EC boss. While the police tried to stop them from doing that, they also had no other choice than to break the gate. We heard from the EC, who has condemned this act, but tell us that they would also report the incident officially to the Ghana Police Service. Although the police were around, they would also have to make an official complaint to the police so that an investigation would be made to that effect. And so with regards to that particular incident, the EC will take it off with the Ghana Police Service for Steve.
Nana Boachi Adam joined us there from the Ashanti region, where he told us that 3 individuals were arrested but now released after the protest there turned quite murky. Let's take you back to the Upper West region. Rafiq Salam is back with us. Hopefully we have better connection to Rafiq. Rafiq, how did it go at your end?
Ended peaceful here in the Upper West region, precisely at the court of the Upper West Regional Coordinating Council, where millions of supporters of the NDC this morning gathered to undertook that exercise. So they started the exercise right at the forecourt of the Regional Coordinating Council, moved to the principal street in town, named as J.J. Rollins Street, and from there they headed to the Upper West Regional Office of the EC. It was there that they presented their petition. I must also tell you that there were several police personnel who were brought into the region from the various districts and then also municipalities, including their district and municipal commanders. They were there. So the police made sure that nothing untoward happened as far as this demonstration is concerned. And so it was a peaceful demonstration, and finally they had a peaceful handover of the petition to the regional director of the Upper West EC, Mr. Ali Osman Adamu. So the petition was read by the leader of the Upper West Caucus, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelku, demanding for 7 things, including forensic audit of the provisional voters register, and also they want that certain things in certain anomalies in the voters register is reversed. And so the petition actually was also handed over to the EC's officer by the regional chairman of the NDC, Abdul Nasser Sani, and then after that, the EC's officer, the regional director, Ali Osman Adamu, pledged that he would do the needful by sending the letter straight to the EC's office in Accra. So in that post here, it's been faithful, and then nothing untoward happened in the demonstration.
Rafiq Salam joining us live from Wa. Let's take you now to Tamale. Martina Bugri is on the grounds. Martina, have the protesters, have they submitted their petition to the EC already?
They did that about an hour ago, and the protest took about 3 hours to go through the principal streets of the city and then finally convert close to the EC offices, about 300 meters away from the EC office. The EC officer or the regional director moved out of his office to receive the petition. The secretary and the regional chairman were the two who handed over the petition to the EC director. He says that he would forward it to the appropriate quarters for redress. Now, the party chairman and his secretary spoke to the media after the handing over the petition. The chairman says that the New Patriotic Party presidential candidate was fraudulently elected because the Wali elections were annulled, and the people who voted him from Wali were part of those who elected him. It says that the other reasons, if they had carefully scrutinized their registers also, they would have found out irregularities. And it is those same things that the EC wants to do to get the MPP presidential candidate to office. The secretary says that they would continue to push, even to the extent that they would visit their homes to get their petitions across to them if they refuse to listen to them.
Martina Bugri joined us live from Tamale. Let's take you to Bono East. And Anas Sabit was on the ground. And asked, was your protest peaceful?
It's been largely peaceful, without really recorded anything anywhere from the start. The protest, as I reported earlier, began at 10 a.m. To the principal office of the command, and about 30 minutes ago, the executives of the party, together with almost all the parliamentary candidates across the whole region, met the letter from the regional EC officer in the person of Dr. Gabriel. They were at the, forecourt of the letter where they handed over their petition to the EC secretary. It was read by the regional secretary.
Anas, I'm finding it very difficult hearing you, and I'm sure our audience as well. You might have to position rightly and just tell us how the protest fared. You might have to speak a bit louder as well. Well, unfortunately, we don't have clear connection to Anas Sabit, but in the studios, I have the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, joining us just as we look at the bigger picture of how the protest fared. The NDC promised a peaceful protest, but that's far from what we're seeing in cases like in the Ashanti region and the Eastern region. What happened?
Well, I think that basically the demonstration, in my estimation, have been very peaceful, very cooperative. The police did excellently well, cooperated with us. We as leadership also took responsibility of the protesters to ensure that we all together as stakeholders managed to warn the crowd, ensure that there were no damages, ensure that there were no breakages in terms of properties or other innocent people who may be walking, or breaking the orders of the police. I mean, the case of Ashanti region we are having a national demonstration, and for me, one case of disagreement. You've just been told that those who were arrested have been so far released, which presupposes that the police would have done so to de-escalate a certain disagreement, and so that cannot be said to be.
But in the Eastern region as well, the police had a hard time controlling the crowd. And so what exactly was the orientation, and did it even trickle down enough?
In 2016, when the MPP did a similar protest, people were hurt. They destroyed stuff. Today, that is not the case. In fact, when I say that everybody is fed up with the MPP, everybody is fed up. Even the police officers who were demonstrating with us, they are fed up. And so we all cooperated with one another. If we have 2% of incidents and a demonstration that is nationwide, a demonstration that people are very hungry, people are angry, people are upset, poverty is attacking them from their homes, yet they believe that two individuals, Bosman Asari, Jane Mensah, want to subvert their right, want to subvert the laws of the commission, to perpetrate what we call a compromise election. If that anger is supposed to be within them, and yet they manifested a peaceful demonstration, I think that you must commend the NDC, and we ourselves will commend Ghana Police Service for their immense cooperation. Unlike the other ones, if they had been the ones doing the demonstration, maybe people would have died.
Yeah, but then we are seeing on the screens right now, shattered glass, the police there trying to contain the crowd.
Course.
And the bigger concern from the EC, because they have condemned this act, was you should have put your people to order. They are also planning to officially file a complaint because they felt that your members went outside.
I will be very frank with you. This is an underestimation of what is awaiting the Electoral Commission after today. We will not restrain Ghanaians. We will now leave all Ghanaians who feel that the Electoral Commission is up to something to besiege the private homes of the commissioner and the deputy commissioners. We will not restrain them.
But aren't you fueling violence by saying this?
The NDC will not instigate our members. We will not support our members to cause violence. That is why we are even demonstrating in the first place. Because we've seen 8 people being killed, a cold blood. We don't want to have an election where a Ghanaian must lose his life. MPP, NDC, we are brothers, we are sisters. Why are we going into an election Yet it's as if we are going to war, simply because two individuals, not even regional directors, not even district directors, two individuals, Jane Mensah and Bosman Asare, who think that because they've put some 5 military officers around them, they are fortified in order to do wrong. We will not restrain Ghanaians if we don't do the right thing. So people will now get up and look for family members of Jane Mensah and Bosman Asare. People will now look for their private homes and besiege there to ensure.
But by saying this, you're also by saying this, you're also fueling violence, and this is a concern for lots of people because the NDC have served notice that they would not sign the peace pact. But let's come back to the demonstration. Yeah. There are concerns that the NDC is shifting the goalposts. You say you have concerns about anomalies in the voters' register. You have had a meeting with the EC. The EC said, bring me documents that shows that these are the anomalies. Let's fix them because per our system, whatever we identified has been fixed. You said no, you would present it to the EC during your demonstration or after your demonstration. What? Now, we heard from Omani Boama saying that they'll rather present it to the independent auditor.
Yeah.
Isn't that shifting the goalposts?
Well, the sad reality and the mark of unpreparedness to be professional is when we have identified problems beyond what exhibition can do. And the EC admits, in fact, even interdicts one of its officers in Pusiga for manipulating or illegally transferring names, which presupposes that such an anomaly would not have been rectified or seen during exhibition. Now, the EC then says that all of the problems that have occurred, we are going to correct it using the exhibition principle. Then we say that if you believe that exhibition can correct all the issues, then correct it and bring us the legitimate or the genuine voters register. They then came to say that during the emergency IPAC we requisitioned, they said we should bring them a hard drive. They have now corrected all the problems, and then they were willing to give us the new version of the voters register. Till today, they haven't done it.
But till today, you also haven't provided them.
Well, if you say that you have corrected the problems, why should we give you more evidence?
No, but then you are the one raising concerns.
No.
You are the one pushing for an independent forensic
We are not
audit.
the ones. The EC accepts that the problems we raise are true.
So you also want an independent forensic
The fact
audit.
that they come to conclusion that
But even in the court, he who alleges must prove.
No.
So the EC says come with proof.
they have a burden to be professional. First of all, they have to work with the law. They had a responsibility to protect the data of voters. They failed. In their own management, people stole BVR and BVDs. You saw a machine being sold in a marketplace as if it's a mobile phone. Meanwhile, we have just 3 months to election. If you have mismanaged your outfit like this, you can be helped through an audit to restore some of the things that even we don't know. Other than that, fraudsters are going to choose a president for Ghana, and that president will also be a fraudster. We just want Operation One Vote, One Man, One Vote, as the Constitution says. Let us do an audit so that EC can be clear in its mind that the voters register I am holding, even if the commissioners are not accomplices in the perpetration of a fraud, okay, some of its workers may be doing something that the commissioners are not aware. For example, the Wale Wale election was nullified. That election was conducted by the Electoral Commission on the basis of electoral irregularities. I'll take you to Bimbila, MPP, Yendi, MPP primaries. You saw an Electoral Commission officer interfering and actually destroying printed ballot papers. Was the commissioner there? No, but that is a staff of the commission. I also want to state that it is impossible for a district officer in Pusiga to manipulate a data available at the headquarters. It will only take the tacit involvement of somebody at the IT department. Here we go. President Akufo-Addo have succeeded in appointing his best friend's son, a man in UK. They were very close friends. His son, as a consultant to the IT department of the Electoral Commission, quite apart from appointing MPP members. Bosman Asare is MPP. Dr. Apiahene is MPP. They are all on the Electoral Commission. Is it not better for us to assure ourselves that an audit has been conducted and that we are going into an election that is going to be transparent, that is going to be credible, that is going to be free and fair. The NDC want to assure that no life will be lost in the 2024 election. It will not be because of the NDC that somebody must die. It should not be because of the MPP that somebody must die. If something goes wrong, it is Bossman Asare and Jane Mensah.
Bossman Asare wants to negotiate with the NDC.
No.
They say come to the negotiation
but
table.
They don't need...
Show us the evidence you have.
They don't need negotiation.
So that we can fix the problem.
But you
are failing to do that. Isn't the NDC being unreasonable?
Do you audit your company because you are very sure that there is fraud? You audit your company to keep the company up to date with compliance. Sometimes you may even audit and you see nothing. But because there have been an audit, it takes doubts that something is wrong. Does it take the head of a commissioner for us to do an audit? It is not their money. It is not their resources. An audit is an audit. What have they got to hide that Ghanaians don't know? You see, they are provoking Ghanaians. And what we don't want to see happening is when people begin to target commissioners one by one out of anger. I don't think we should get there. They should allow us to do what is lawful, the same constitution that allows somebody in the MPP to be serving as a commissioner. The same constitution says that they should be transparent, they should be independent. Within the remits of these provisions in the constitution, I don't see why anybody should be objecting a simple exercise of an audit. You are inflicting a lot of risk against yourself. Jane Mensah is a Ghanaian. Jane Mensah have children. Should we watch for people's children to go and die? Because the MPP may lose an election and refuse to agree because it has identified incompetence or some errors or some mistakes on the part of the commission. The NDC may lose an election and also identify that something would have been done but it didn't take place. So therefore, I'm not going to agree.
As we wrap up the conversation, I'm told I just have a few more minutes to wrap it up. You say we should expect more protests if the EC fails to heed your call. ECOWAS says some of the concerns you've raised could be dealt with internally. Do you feel otherwise? We
just want to see the action of correcting the anomalies. They are not going to see more protests. I'm saying that they are provoking Ghanaians and attracting the anger against the government to themselves. Jane Mensah and Bossman are redirecting Akufo-Addo's crimes to themselves and their families. That is the risk they are
more protests it is from the NDC. And that's how we wrap up Election Brief. Thank you for joining us on all our social media handles, on Joy Prime, as well as on the Joy News channel. Please, for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Sapo. Good afternoon.